just even pause. Ride or die. We're not doing no ride or die no more. Okay? Why do we have to do ride or die? Why do we have to even die? Why can't we just ride and make it somewhere? Sips tea. What's up, YouTube? And we're back with another For Your Mother! Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Bella C here, and I have a special guest.
Hi everyone.
Introduce yourself.
My name's Tony. I am her older sister. Really? My name's Tony. I am her older sister.
Yes. So today we just wanted to do like a chit chat. Like we were really inspired by Tony, what's his last name again?
Tony Gaskins.
Tony Gaskins' video, and he was just talking about relationships, and we just wanted to spill our tea basically about how we feel about it. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave his video in the link, the drop prediction. What? The description box below.
What? Bro, what are you talking about?
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's just get right into it. So girl, give us the tea. Just start off, I want to see like what's your point of view of love, right? So should I go first and then you?
I can go first.
Okay, you go first, yeah.
So for me, love is something that is, okay, so I feel like oftentimes we kind of confuse the word love. The world has perverted the word love. So oftentimes we think that love is something that you have to be a ride or die, go through heaven and hell.
Just even pause. Ride or die. We're not doing no ride or die no more. Okay? Why do we have to do ride or die? Why do we have to even die? Why can't we just ride and make it somewhere? But continue.
So basically we think that love is ride or die, as in when I say ride or die, I mean we think we have to roll in the mud, go through heaven and hell, all the bad things, and still make it through that, and that's love. That's not what love is. There's love like that, what they say is love like that, but then there's also the Bible's love. And I, as a Bible believer, I have to go with that because that's what I resonate with, and that's pure, like that's unconditional. The closest thing that I think I have to that is like my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister. No matter what they do, like annoying me, whatever.
Really, nigga?
It always, I always know that I can, like, I wake up and I forget about it. Like, it doesn't, there's no grudges. There's no, I hate them, never talk to them again. I'm never going to forgive them. It's like, it's forgiving. It's, I forget. You know, it's forgive and forget. It's genuine. It's pure. It's trust. I'm comfortable. I trust them. I know that they have my best interests at heart. And that's what love is. And if you can find a partner, even friendships like that, then that's true love.
Yeah, I totally agree with what she said. Another specific Bible verse, I don't know the exact verse. I'm going to add it into, I'll add it somewhere here. But 1 Corinthians, it describes what love is. It says that love is patient, love is kind, love isn't envy. And I feel like if we're looking at whoever we date or whoever we in our relationship with, try to replace the word love with that name. So for example, Tony isn't envy, Tony is patient, Tony is kind. And when you think of those things, think about that person. If you can't replace that word love with that person's name, not that you don't love the person, but it isn't real love. It's infatuation.
It's, what the world deems as love.
Exactly. It is not real love. You know. Now that we kind of define what love means to us, how do you find love in our generation? Because I feel like in our generation, love has been so perverted. Love has been so like made so complicated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And looking at my age group, I'm looking towards the early 20s to mid 20s, right? A lot of guys are just trying to, I get it. This is our prime. I get it totally. I just feel like if you don't want to be with somebody, you shouldn't waste their time. You know what I mean? Like if you don't want to be with somebody, then just call it quits, because I just don't feel like there's a need to hurt somebody. If you don't want to be with them, don't be with them. And I feel like my generation or my age gap or whatever of guys, they're just so like, I don't know.
So if I can interject, I feel like that conversation is multi-layered. Okay. So we can't just say, why are you wasting someone's time? We have to look at who the person is their background, where like how they were raised, their intention as well. I also feel like the onus is not only on the guys. We shouldn't just, because this is not a guy bashing video. Yeah, we don't just blame the dudes. Women play a part, because what you accept is what will be allowed. And I feel like as women, young women coming into our own, we need to place the onus on ourselves and love ourselves to know that this is not going to fly. When you give a man the opportunity to do something once, he will do it twice.
That's when you get the cycle of leave, come back, break up to make up. That's not healthy. That's not cute.
Say what you want and all.
Let me just tell you guys one thing. Ladies, please, if a man talks to you for 1 week and then he disappears, comes back, disappears, please do not deal with that. Do not accept that, because
it's upsetting me and my homegirl, because we feel like, well, damn.
If a man does that to you, it only means that you're like his comfort zone. So it's not necessarily that, oh my gosh, he loves me, that's why he keeps coming back. That quote, if you love something, let it go, and if it comes back at yours, please don't listen to that quote. That quote is misleading, and it's
only for certain, like a handful.
A dog, that's it.
No, I do believe sometimes when things leave, they can come back. But when they come back, it's a whole 180 though. It's a whole
I think
person.
That saying also was meant for if something leaves, as in you guys break up amicably. It's not like he's ghosting you, leaving you on like confusion and then coming back. God is not the author of confusion. He doesn't do that. I understand though that at your age, guys are still maturing, still growing up. So that's why I would... I have more compassion, because I know that at that age they're still growing up, and then like closer to the end of your 20s, going into your 30s, you know, you start to...
I get that totally, but I just don't feel like, don't sell a dream.
Don't sell a dream, but women don't buy the dream. If you don't buy the dream, they won't have anyone to sell it to.
True. That's true. So also adding into loving yourself, also loving yourself to know that certain attention, not all attention is good attention, sorry. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we be getting the DMs, the likes, the snaps, the requests.
Like, I know that a lot of people like to say, oh, our parents' generation is so different, it's so different. But we have to look at the fact that we have social media. Like, we have the world in the palm of our hands. Like, there's a lot of hot, beautiful women. There's like, women are so beautiful, and there's so many of them in the world. And now these guys have access to these women
all over the world.
Like a plethora of women, and also women too. We have access to these beautiful men
lot of
that
guys
created.
Yeah, everywhere.
So, you know, I feel like the attention thing, it's easy for it to get to your head. However, we have to remember to not let that get into your head. And how you do not let that get into your head is if you love yourself. If you love yourself, you will not get gassed by someone's compliments or 100 likes on your photo or 17.k followers on Instagram. You know what I mean? So I remember when I was her age, we were just getting, there was I wasn't your age, I was 17, 18, 19, I don't know, around there, High Five and Facebook. And if you're from Toronto, you know about Black Planet, okay? We were grade 9 on Black Planet. We had no business on Black Planet. Anyways, you would know that, like, them times social media wasn't as rampant, but today it's so rampant and like it's easy to get lost in the sauce of social media.
Get lost in the sauce for sure.
Compliments, but if you don't know who you are, you will get lost in the sauce. But if you know who you are and you know what, like, yourself, like, it's just a bonus. I learned this a lot from like Shanika Adams and Tony Gaskins and the
relationship gurus.
You are the prize, ladies. You are the prize. Remember that always, and you will never sell yourself short. If you don't know your value, you will take anything.
That's true,
You know, I know that the way we were raised, like, there's another thing I want to touch on. Like, when you're growing up, women equate having a boyfriend with being beautiful or their self-esteem.
Or being valued,
So it starts when we're in grade school, when we're in elementary, and like, you know, your friends have boyfriends, little, you know, dumb grade 1, grade 2 boyfriends. If you don't have one, it's like
you feel left
out, and you feel like
am I not cute?
As a kid, you say, oh my gosh, like, is it because I'm not pretty? Like, because guys only like pretty girls to make them their boyfriend. When we grow up, we realize that's not the facts. That's not the case. But as a child, I feel like that resonates and it stays with us as we get older. And it's something that we have to get rid of. It's a mindset that we have to get rid of, because even today, women will stay with men because
just to say they're in a relationship,
and that adds value to them, and that's not right. If you know who you are and you love yourself, there's certain things you wouldn't even deal with. This conversation is very multi-layered. We only have like a couple of minutes, and it's deeper. Like, let's talk about like the average situation where a woman is staying with a man because she feels like if she leaves, who's she gonna be with? Even though he cheats on her. He cheats on her. So abuse could be physically, emotionally, mentally. So you don't just stay with a man because your value is connected to him. Like, thinking that he loves you, infatuated by you. So if you love yourself, as soon as you see those red signs, you know that this behavior that he's doing doesn't line up with what I believe and how I love myself. So therefore, I'm leaving.
You can't keep watching this video without subscribing, so you have to do that right now. Thank you very much. On to our next thing. So the whole thing with, again, loving yourself, I think for me personally, that's something that I've been working on this year. I realized that I'm starting to understand, one, my purpose in this life, one, the type of woman I am, the type of woman I'm going to be, and that is with the help of mentors, with my sister's friends, even some of my friends. It's a thing too, like, I was able to get that advice because my sister went through it, right? So that's why certain things, like, my sister can even tell you, like, I'm more mature for my age, or even the people that I hang out with are more mature because we have older siblings, right? So we see the stuff and we're just like, we're not for it. We're not sticking with it. You know what I mean? So I think that's why sometimes we sound kind of harsh, because we've seen it happen to people that we know, and we know how damaging it is. You know what I mean?
And that's one thing I always say, like, I didn't have an older sister. I had to navigate these relationship streets by myself.
And mind you, her friends, like, only a few of them had the older sibling. You know, so imagine you and a group of friends, you guys are all the oldest, and you know, your parents are immigrants, right? So it's not even like there's too much of you guys, right?
Yeah, so like, you know, we all know with African parents, they're not really the most easiest. I'm not saying all. Yeah. Most of them, like, they're not the easiest to go to when you have a relationship problem. Like, I remember when I had my first heartbreak. I think I was like 21. I was like her age.
Wow, my age.
And
oh my gosh.
I was crying in my room, and I was listening to Boyz II Men, Doing Just Fine. That song will have you in tears. And I was crying, right? And I had just gone to a fight with the guy I was dating that time on the front lawn of my parents' house, and I think my mom saw. So when I got back in the house, I started crying in my room, and she came in my room, and I thought she would have like sympathy or some type of empathy. This lady said to me, "Are you crazy? Are you mad? Are you making this stupid boy make you cry?
Are you a bluff?
Yeah, like, don't let anybody bluff you. How can you let this?
Like, what does that mean, to bluff you?
Like, how could you let anybody just bluff you like that? Do you know who you are?" And at that time, I thought she was so mean. Oh my goodness, I started crying even more. I was like, gosh, mom, like, you know, just get out of my room. But today, I look at it and I love it. I love her for that, and that's her way of loving on me.
Pick yourself back up.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, don't cry for too long. Like, that's her way of loving on me. Well, would I do that to my daughter? No, I wouldn't do it like that. But I would.
Different approach.
A different approach, definitely. But the intent toward it, I respect it and I love it. Yeah. Your parents have foresight. They look at you as your child, and they know who you are, what you can be, and so they know, they just want the best for you. So I get that. But I was on a tangent. What was I talking about before?
Just the whole thing of how you said, like, our African parents weren't really like, you
know,
so
like, I never had that like big sis that said, "No, Tony, don't date this guy because girl, he just want you for this, or he's just wasting your time, or girl, no." You know, I never had. I had to navigate by myself. Of course, I had older friends. Shout out to them. They know who they are. They're very helpful.
Big sis.
They're very helpful, and like, you know, they give their advice, but they too were also going through their own thing. So it's like we were all just trying to figure it out, you know, my girls. And we gave each other advice the best way we know how.
I know.
It wasn't, when I look back, it wasn't the best, but we did our best. We tried our best, and we made it to where we are now. And we say everything happens for a reason, but I feel like some things you don't have to go through, but God will allow you to go through it because He's a free will type of God. He doesn't hold your will.
He gives you free will.
you make all the mistakes you make, but you will come back to the right path eventually.
I believe in everything happens for a reason because of that though. Don't you even feel more wiser? Like, don't you feel like you know what you want and you know what you're going to look for, and you're not even gonna let some, you know what I mean?
Exactly, because I've been through stuff. I understand what I want, what I need, what I don't want. You know, going through bad things makes you know what you don't want, and not saying that you have to have.
Not everybody goes through a bad.
Some girls don't have
they meet the one high school, boom, family, boom. Like some people have it.
Yeah, but some people have to go. You know, those of us that are a little hard headed, God has to okay, this is my daughter, stubborn. You go through it, but you come back and you're wiser, and like you can advise the youth, you can advise the kids. Like when I talk to my sister, I don't know if she listens to me. I do. But it's like she's more likely to listen to my advice than someone who hasn't gone through anything. And it's kind of like street cred. Like, you know, it's kind of like street cred. Like,
okay, yeah.
You know, like, because you've been through stuff. You got some scars, but it's like you're beautiful. Like, and people rather listen to someone that has had scars and is beautiful now than someone who's just beautiful and doesn't have a story.
Yeah,
you know
feel like you can relate to it more.
Battle wounds, like it builds character. So.
It builds character.
I hope that you guys enjoyed this brief talk. I know we could have dabbled more into the topics. However, we didn't want to extend this video.
Yeah, and overbear people.
Yeah, and then the thing is, a lot of these topics have a lot of layers to it. Like I mentioned earlier, they are multi-layered. And we can't just say it's X or like black or white, you know, A or B. It's very multi-layered. How you grew up, your parents, parenting style, all these things affect, you know, who you choose, who you gravitate towards to, and a lot of other things too. So we just hope this was like brief and very like to the point, and we hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you want more of this, if you want me on her channel more,
if you want her on my channel more, don't forget to like, even comment, share your thoughts. You know, how do you guys feel about certain things that we talked about? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Because even me and her, some of the things that we did talk, we don't fully agree on. You know what I mean? We all have our own point of views. But yeah, let us know. Share if you want to see her on my channel again.
Say Tony.
Say Tony. On that note, I'm gonna end it off with this scripture. You are wonderfully and beautifully made, okay? We out. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Didn't even notice.
No punches got to roll it. You got to keep me focused. I know you say so.